Okay, welcome to Garden of the Spirit, a class studying apples from the orchard. This class meets in Long Meadow, Massachusetts, and is held in memory of Malka Ruth Bas Moshe, Margaret Vogel of blessed memory. Apples from the Orchard contain selections of teachings of Kabbalah from the Arizal, Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, based on the weekly Torah portion, superbly translated and explained by Rabbi Moshe Wisniewski. Okay, so we are learning about Moshe and Korach and Hevel. We're going to start from 762, where it says to explain. Okay, go ahead, Ellen.
To explain, the following explanation is based on the fact that the numerical value of Korach, which is Kuf Reish Ches, 100 plus 200 plus 8 is 308, plus that of Havel, Hey base Lamed, 5 plus 30, 37, equals that of Moshe, Mem Shin Hey, 40 plus 300 plus 5, 345. Because 308 plus 37 is 345.
Money.
You're on air.
I'm coming for the cash.
You get paid off.
It's all yours. Paid off.
It is all yours.
Whatever I have is hers.
Of course.
Naturally.
It all works.
It's a 50-50 proposition.
Yeah.
50% she takes, and 50% you give her.
Right.
Yeah, but what's all hers is not yours.
That's right. What's yours is hers, and
What's
hers
hers
is
is
not
hers.
necessarily yours.
I just know. When she looks good, I look good.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
When she's happy, you're
We'll
happy.
leave it at that.
That's it.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I plead guilty.
We all do. Elsewhere, the Arizal states that the evil side of Havel was expressed by the number 308, and that this evil was rectified in Havel's reincarnation, Moshe. This is indicated by the fact that Moshe's numerical value, 345, equaled that of the good in Havel, 37, plus that of the evil in him, 308. Korach is 308. Was thus the evil in Havel that had been rectified in the soul of Moshe. Thus he was a part of Moshe's soul, dependent upon him, but when he began his rebellion, he was rerouted in the soul of Cain. Since Korach sensed that a reincarnated spark of the soul of Cain had ignited his soul, he said to Moshe, I am no longer subservient to you. This is alluded to in Moshe's and Aaron's prayer, O Hashem, Hashem of the spirits of all flesh, the initials of which spell out Chavel.
Hold on.
I don't remember these.
Wow.
Okay, so basically,
The spirits of
Hevel
all
was,
flesh, yeah.
Hevel was reincarnated in Moshe, and Cain was part of Cain was reincarnated in Korach.
Mm-hmm.
So Korach felt this connection to Cain. So he said, I don't have to listen to you anymore. And Moshe davened, Elokei haruchos lichol basar, which is Hevel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hashem's first response to Korach's rebellion was to tell Moshe that he intended to wipe out the whole people. Hashem spoke to Moshe and Aaron, saying, Separate yourselves from this congregation, and I will wipe them out instantly. But they fell on their faces and said, O Hashem, Hashem of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin and you be angry at the whole congregation? The initials of the phrase spirits of all flesh, Haruach lekol basar, are Hey Lamed Base. Hey Lamed Base is Havel. Meaning, in fact, the souls of the second generation were also soul sparks of Moshe, the reincarnation of Havel. Thus Hashem, who is the Hashem of the spirits of all flesh, knew that they are derived from Havel's soul. Since only Korach sinned, Moshe therefore asked Hashem, Shall one man sin? The rest of the generation knows this, that they are no different from the previous generation, and believe in Moshe, for they are all relevant to that part of Moshe that relates to the second generation.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, the part of Chachma that relates to Bina. The pure Moshe, pure Chachma, is just 72, without the 130. Moshe is therefore fully justified in saying, Rav Lachem, the 202, is for you. I am 202 only for your sake. Okay.
Hold on.
We had the two generations. The first
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
generation-
at.
Yeah.
First generation, and then before the spies, and they died out, and then the second generation, and there was Korach was saying, well, second generation is here, Moshe. We don't want you. We don't need you anymore. But Moshe, which he didn't get, was also connected to Bina, and not just Chachma. So that's where they're going with this. That Moshe,
So,
Abba was connected to Bina,
Moshe
and he had
said
that was Moshe.
the all these 600,000 people that I am in their midst, meaning that they were all like plugged into Moshe, and that was the generation that left Egypt. That's with the masculine side.
Right.
Then, after it was decreed that they would stay in the desert, Korach said, "This is a different group now. These are people who are connected with the feminine mode, feminine aspect. The next generation." He said, "Hashem is in their midst," meaning not you. You don't
Right.
connect them anymore.
But Moshe had both Chachma and Bina to relate to the second generation, which where he says, no, I'm connected to this too because I'm in both Chachma and Bina. In that he wasn't just masculine, and that's how he related to the second generation as well. That is the post-spy, post-Egypt, maybe that's better.
It was remarkable. Okay, Alan, go ahead. Thank you.
This explains Moshe's statement. Through this you will know that it is not from my heart that I do this. In Moshe's speech before the trial of the incense that would demonstrate Korach's folly and cause the death of the rebels, he said, "Through this you will know that Hashem sent me to do all these deeds, that I did not make it up." The latter phrase literally reads that it is not of my own heart, which can also be interpreted to mean that it is not of my heart or of my own free will. For he was forced to do it by Hashem against his will. He said, "For you are all part of me, and if evil befalls you, it hurts me. This blemish affects me as well, but I am not forced to do this against my will because of your wickedness."
What does that mean?
Right, I am forced.
But I am forced to do
I
this.
am not.
I am
am
forced to do
forced.
this against will because he didn't want
He didn't want.
anybody to perish.
He didn't want
He didn't
anyone,
want
even Korach. to
even
perish-
Korach. He
to
didn't want
perish.
anybody to perish.
He didn't want Korach to perish either, but he knew that there had to be the test that Aaron was going to perform, and he knew Korach. He couldn't win it. So
He wanted it shown that it was Hashem doing the
and
doing
Hashem
it. He was just the
said-
tool.
Hashem said, "There's wickedness in you. You got to deal with this," and so he did it. Wickedness among you. You got to deal with this.
All right.
That's what I get.
Had to work out that way because of the Gilgulim of Hevel and Cain.
Yeah,
It's the rectification.
rectifying.
Sometimes we have no choice.
Abel, and that's how we rectify it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just have no choice.
We don't have choice. A
So
lot.
here we are.
And in fact, a lot, I think. But that's the point. I mean, when you're faced
okay with that.
when you're faced with evil, I mean, particularly, what do you got to do what you got to do. I don't know how we have a whole lot of choice.
Compelled.
Yeah, I don't see there's a whole lot of will, self will when you're faced with evil.
Well,
You do.
In Moshe's case,
You do have will.
You do have will. In Moshe's case, it was the condemnation, he had to prove that it wasn't him doing the condemnation.
This is not of my heart.
It's not of my
or
heart.
of my own free will.
Right.
Hashem is telling
Hashem
him to
is-
do it.
Yeah,
Force him
Hashem
to do it.
tells you to do
Hashem's
it.
directing
But
him
he
to do
technically he can walk away.
it. Well,
it. You know what? Way
you
on
know
Hashem.
What?
I don't
What?
know. I don't get
That's
it.
what free will means.
I don't think so.
No. That's the
Yes.
definition of free will.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
except
caprice.
you're not going to walk
How
away.
are you
Hashem
going
says
to walk
so.
away?
Yeah,
Hashem's
when
not-
you're a criminal and you're standing in a court of law and you're being sentenced, you can walk out the door.
Well,
sure, you can walk out the
You
door.
might get shot.
Well, they'll trounce you,
Yeah,
but you still can walk out the door, right?
if you're
Fine.
dumb.
What?
He was forced to do it by
Who was forced to
Hashem
do it?
against his will.
Moshe.
Moshe was forced to do
Moshe
it by
was
God
forced to do it.
against
Yes.
his will.
It was
Yes.
against his will. It had to be that.
That's
But
way.
he that doesn't mean he doesn't have free choice.
How is there free
Back to
choice?
this.
Saved. He's saved. It's not my free will.
There's no free choice. Here, when you're so overwhelmed by Hashem, or Hashem is right there, man, and there's evil, it's
And Hashem says, get
It's-
rid of the evil. You're going to get rid of the evil.
that's why I said serve or not, but I don't know
Well,
how there's free
Hashem
will.
needs the action.
Actually,
Did Yosef choose to be thrown in the pit? Was that his choice?
though,
Hey, if
Wait a
we're
second.
11 to
No.
1,
actually though,
Could he have fought back? 1 second. Well, could he have fought back?
No, he probably did.
we crack Maga.
He probably did. Yeah.
Moshe didn't do anything. Moshe just, when Aaron gave the test, that just proved that whatever Moshe had done previously was, whatever Moshe had done was at Hashem's bidding. The getting rid of Korach was what Hashem did. Moshe wasn't involved in that. Hashem opened it up, opened the earth up and swallowed him up and did that. But Moshe
did suggest the incense issue after Hashem told him to do it.
Right, but-
Hashem said, and Moshe did
But
that.
that was
with-
just to
with
prove.
Korach,
But
and-
that was just to prove that what Moshe had done was not of his choice,
No, it
but of
wasn't.
Hashem's choice.
Yeah. But he's still doing that through
Yes.
through Hashem's
No.
direction, and boom, he does
not
that.
I'm not
and,
arguing
and he
that.
waits to the next morning.
Yeah, but I'm not. He just proved that.
Yeah.
What happened afterwards was Hashem's doing.
Oh yeah, Hashem opens.
I'm
the
saying.
book.
So Moshe may not have didn't want that to happen to Korach, but Hashem had no part in that. He was just
He was an
helping them
instrument.
prove that he was chosen by Hashem to do the leading and to be there. Korach, you're wrong.
Yeah, he was.
It's not of my choice of doing
he
it.
was
Hashem
Hashem's-
chose
he was-
me to do it
he
and is
was
telling me to do
Hashem's
this.
instrument.
He was the
And-
instrument.
and-
then
and-
Hashem took over to get rid of Korach to finalize the point that, you see, my choice, not his.
And Moshe gave him some more time to reconsider,
And he didn't.
and he didn't. So there, Moshe did, held the
He did whatever
held the
he
thing
could.
off, and in fact, Korach's own kids,
Right,
had,
and when-
had their intent got changed,
Right.
and they were preserved.
Right.
The only one who had a choice in that whole incident was, what's his name?
Own.
Yeah. The only one. She got him drunk.
No. They all have a choice.
Oh, here we go.
He didn't have to.
How are we talking about choice if the donuts are on the table and everyone's looking at them? And I'm like, get them off because I don't have a choice. I'm
After
compelled to
almost
eat them.
5 years, you still don't. Come on, man. You're still
no.
holding to your guns, right?
Yeah.
No, of
After
course they have a
5
choice.
Years.
Korach
It says
has a
it
choice.
right
Moshe
there.
has a choice.
Right there, black on white. I did it not of my will. It says
That
right
one.
there.
That one thing.
He was forced to do it by Hashem against his will.
Yeah, but
Period.
but someone can stand and say, "Sorry, I'm not doing this."
Not when.
He
not when-
could.
No.
Free choice means
That's been my argument.
I'm gonna
with
listen to
Aaron,
him.
Aaron the whole time.
What?
Aaron didn't have to go ahead with the Egel Hazahav.
Right.
Well,
right.
He didn't have to do that.
You're right.
He just saw what was his nephew or his cousin?
Chur.
kill.
Killed before him. But he
Yeah.
could have said, I'm not doing this. And he could have exerted the power
Right.
of his office,
Right.
but he didn't.
Right. He made the choice that this was the best option. He made the decision that this was the best option, and that's what he did.
ultimately it wasn't